We are live in Atlantic City at the Claridge Hotel for the Fan Fest for the second annual Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame induction ceremony. My name is Mark Abrams. Over the next 2 hours, I'm going to have a bevy of guests, legends, some of the greats of the game. Riddick Bowe, excuse me, Michael Spinks, all kinds of DeMarcus Corley, Hector Camacho Jr. But right now, to start the program off, I'm joined by one of the one of the few boxers slash pundits, writers, commentators. John, the Iceman Scully. John, how you doing?
Doing great. Great to be here.
Weekend like this, I know, besides being a former fighter, you're still very much in the game in terms of you write about it. I see you on Boxing News,
right.
magazine out of England, certain other things, and to be around this, around all these great fighters, what's it mean to you?
It's incredible. I can't even explain it. But as a former fighter, I feel like I'm like soaking up what I worked for. Like this is the reward. You get to see these guys. I come and I see Junior and I see Mark and Moochie and we hang out and Riddick and it's just really incredible and everybody has a great time and a situation like this, I tell fans you have to come here because you can see this thing where you're heroes. Literally,
one here that you were really most looking forward to seeing?
You know what? I not being cocky, but I know these. They're friends of mine.
And this is such a small community.
Yeah, it's small. I'm friends. But I'll tell you what. And I consider Mark Breland and I to be very good friends. Mark's a great guy. But when I see him, I always think, man, when I was a kid, this is the guy. You're 28.
Right.
But when I was 14, 15, Mark was the king of amateur boxing. He was on the cover of Ring Magazine as an amateur, So to be here and see him and talk to him, it's really kind of crazy to me because he was the king.
Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame weekend. Don't have your record in front of me. You fight in Atlantic City?
I fought here 3 times. 3 times. Yep.
So you're eligible.
Yeah.
Down the ballot.
Yeah. But
any fond memories fighting in Atlantic City?
You know what? I'll tell you what. I was very nervous my first time, especially because, and back then, Atlantic City was the center of the universe. There were shows here 3 times a week on the boardwalk. Fighting in Atlantic City was humongous. And I just remember being in the dressing room. I was so nervous, and I'm like, man, like this, I'm in the same dressing room that all my idols. I'm in their shoes right now, and it was really surreal. And then I was here as a trainer when Chad Dawson beat Bernard Hopkins for the title, which was surreal in itself. Because as a boxing fan, and then to become a boxer, and now to be in my position, it's really like a dream come true.
When we come to nominate guys, I gotta make sure Ray knows that under your bio. The trainer, I mean, obviously, the fighting career, we can look up box track, whatever. Gotta add that.
I fought here 3 times, but my biggest thing, I trained Chad Dawson to beat Bernard Hopkins right here at Boardwalk Hall.
What do you got going on now? Obviously, you said you trained Chad Dawson. We see you in different corners from time to time. Who's your main focuses now?
I go to the training camp and I do the mitts and work on technique with Artur Beterbiev, IBF light heavyweight champ. We're in a unique situation now. 3 of the 4 light heavyweight champions are Russians.
Yes.
Never been.
Kovalev is fighting in Atlantic City August 4th.
Kovalev and Artur and Bivol, and they're all killers. I was telling someone the other day because a few guys have bypassed Artur. They didn't take the fight, and I'm saying, what are you going to do instead? Like anybody you fight at 175 is a killer. So no matter who you fight, you're going to be in deep.
He's known as one of the vicious punchers.
Yeah.
You've done pads, I'm sure, for hundreds and hundreds of guys.
Yeah.
Where's his punching power?
He's so heavy-handed, but I go by not just the mitts, but guys who spar with him. Because when I'm in camp with them, I give the guys rides to the hotel, and so we talk on the way, and they're always like, man, it's incredible. Like the way they describe his power, they can't find words for it, you know. And that's with 16-ounce gloves.
You icing your hands after the mitts, or?
I have a technique I use. I minimize the power. I'm able to minimize it. But he's heavy-handed. He's no fun to get hit by, I'll tell you that.
So last night we had the VIP meet and greet. We had the fight upstairs at the Claridge. Tonight we got the Evander Holyfield fight down the street at Boardwalk Hall, and tomorrow the induction ceremony. So, you know, I know I'm sure you've been to other past. I'm sure you've been up to Canastota and some of the other ones. It's a pretty neat experience for everyone.
I'm telling you, and I'm not saying it just because I'm here, because I've been saying this for the last year. This weekend is incredible. This is unbelievable. A boxing fan would walk in here and their mind would just be blown. You know, like, look at, we're in this room right now. Mark Breland, Iran Barkley, Ray Mercer.
Heavyweight champions of the world sitting 8 feet from each other. Bruce Elton, Roy and Evander. Three more. And Michael Spinks, Riddick, and Larry Holmes may be around this weekend. That's 6 heavyweight champions of the world.
This is unbelievable. And like I say, there's DeMarcus Corley, 20 feet away. You can walk right over later. How you doing, DeMarcus? You know, it's really unique. And I think if people came here and actually physically experienced it, I always say, if you come once, you're going to come again. You're going to come next year.
Absolutely. Well, John, well, thank you for a few minutes of your time.
Thank you.
And, John Stone, who is going to help us out. He's sitting at the Legends table with a lot of the great fighters, and we'll see who can again. Live at the Boxing Hall of Fame. What man? Just meet and greet. And then we had a terrific card. Miss Downing Promotions put on a terrific 5-bout card that we saw just some terrific, terrific fights. And tonight we got Evander Holyfield, Real Deal Promotions, who's going to put on a good card tonight. I'm just looking around to see who's may or may not be on the side. We got people running around. John Sully is going to help us get some of the great talent that's assembled. Marcus Corley. Not yet here, but we're maybe we'll get into some fight talk with some of the great fights coming up next week in Las Vegas. You got Terrence Hall fighting for the world. Come on. Or you want to pick yourself up? That's what makes it great. Just get world champion. These guys are world champion. Like for you to from New York. Any particular? poison.
Yeah,
And you know, to see him, you know, go on to everything. You're the man who beat up twice. When you think back to those days,
I think it's a victory, but you know, everything has its time. Never does have time to take a fight with
who makes Poison Junior Jones out watching
somebody
Lomachenko.
I like him. A guy who has 14, 15 fights, and never that.
For the fight is a professional fight. Barrera fights it.
Goes to America and try to be patient and wait for
the money that they're making or whatever. How we step or the indoors.
A lot more money than I was saying. A lot more money. The money is great now. But I think that it's good and it's bad to the point where these guys that can't pass the leg, they just talk a lot and come talk and get far into their mouth and can't fight and make good money. So that point is bad, but the point of boxing, it's a tough sport to be with.
How do you see the sport in general now? How do you compare to, you know, I mean, you've only been retired maybe 10 years now or so, 12 years. Fighters now, the quality of fights, and how do you feel compared to when you were holding that belt real high?
I think it's terrible. I think it's terrible that the competition lasts. I think that the whole thing that somebody about saying these guys are fighting by some of these guys.
We're not seeing the fights that people need to see.
They won now, and the thing about people understand boxing is, whether it's the main belt, the main 4 belts, WC, you know, a belt's a boxing, belt's a belt. As long as you bring something to the table, it counts. The thing is, the Smith belt around now, and as long as the sport, you can't see the fight you want to see it. You duck it. That's playing. You have the fight, make money. You have the bet. You have it out there. So now you don't.
Well, Junior, thank you for your fight.
It's a pleasure for me.
I would say going up, I would make some unbelievable fights, memorable nights back on HBO and other networks, and it's an honor to have you join us. Thank you very much. comments for anybody? And just looking around to see who's there. We do have someone commandeering some guests for us. Got any comments or questions? The questions are the internet's running a little slow here, so trying to get questions. This is called fill time, as we're trying to get some of the guests on. Maybe we'll take a little break. We'll be back in a couple moments here at the Atlantic City Boxing. Back at the second annual Atlantic City we have guys coming down coming down shall we be able to make sure that we have last night, tremendous Oscar Yohas with the ABF Continental American Super Middleweight Championship with a win over Aubrey Yohas, now Webster. Second big fit now in the Super Middleweight division. So the world champions, Tyron Ziyuji called out, maybe a guy like Pro. And he's in the boxing I imagine he'll be probably at some point today. We'll be here in the next hour and a half or so with some guests, and just waiting on the next one. Some interesting boxing news over the last few days. Matchroom announced the streaming plan on the Zone. 16. And we got some good fights coming up. Terrence Crawford, on Jeff next week in Las Vegas. Yes, on Showtime was between A.O. Santa Cruz and Adam Morris, a rematch of their terrific fight of a couple years back that saw Santa Cruz. So we're going to have some terrific fights. The full swing come August 4th when Sergey Kovalev defends the WBO light heavyweight championship of the world against a tough Colombian now based in Montreal, Canada, named Alexander Alvarez, who's an undefeated fighter and has been the #1 ranked contender in the world for about 2.5 years now. Man, Adonis Stevenson, for one reason or another, was not one fight. Dmitry Bivol will be on the feature of the top rank will be
Chop will come over when his wife comes down.
Okay. This we got Marlon. Here. Yes, I said. They said now we got Marlon Starling. Come over here, Marlon.
It can be being on the network television. Everybody look at, everything. Everybody talks about Mohegan Sun. Mohegan Sun is big time now. But I say to people, don't forget Atlantic City back in the 80s.
Mark Breland's in the house, so you can't mention Marlon Starling without Mark Breland and vice versa. You had your wonderful fights with him. When you see him, I know you're buddies now. It's amazing what when Gotti and Ward became friends. A lot of these guys who have these multiple fight wars and series, there's some common. It brings you guys together.
I tell you what. He's always been a true gentleman out there. Over the last 25 years, me and Mark has become.
When you think about those fights, it's nationally televised. Remember ABC? Back in the day when they.
Correct.
Remember it was a big right hand. We have a big right hand. They were the first fight that shocked the world because obviously Mark was undefeated at the time. The greatest amateur fighter ever, maybe still in the United States.
Correct.
And even though the fight was in South Carolina, I believe.
South Carolina.
And you were an underdog. You shocked the world that night. When you think about that, what comes to mind?
Thank God. Thank God. That was like a fight where I had to come through. And I knew that I can do the job, but the people thought that this guy was something bigger than life at that time.
You mentioned fight on national television in Atlantic City. Any fights in particular?
Jose the Threat Barrett. I fought him in Atlantic City. I fought Donald Curry in Atlantic City twice. Atlantic City, you know, like Atlantic City was the Las Vegas back then.
Talk about the game now. Who does Marlon Starling, if someone's on, who you want to see? Who's the guy that you make sure you're in front of the TV for?
Really, I don't watch.
You don't watch much boxing?
Unless it's a big fight that everybody wants to see.
Now why?
I don't know. It's too many champions. It's entirely too many champions.
Now, does that make your accomplishments when there were less champions? You feel that makes your accomplishments?
Definitely, because you know, I won my titles in the '80s, and if you can win a title back in 1980, you had to be a pretty good fighter. So you had to be able to fight to win the title back in the '80s.
You feel that some of the fights that need to be made for whatever reason, we just went through a couple years ago with the Pacquiao and Mayweather thing. Back in the 80s, it went off taking 5 years to make that fight. 5 minutes maybe.
Right. You know, back in the day, you know, a fight of that magnitude would have took, you know, it had to been done.
You mentioned the fights of Breland, Donald Curry. Is there one fight that never happened for you that you wanted?
Ray Leonard.
Ray Leonard. Was there ever talks of that fight?
We talked, but I was a good fighter, and
you weren't a champion yet when he was at welterweight. He was moving up by the time he got champion.
No, I was there. He just didn't want to take a chance of fighting a dangerous young guy like me. But you know, there's always what if.
Yeah.
And you know, one thing I say about the sport, you can't compete errors.
How about today? I mean, a lot of people say that a guy like Mayweather, had he fought in the early 90s or late 80s, you know.
No, he didn't fight in the 80s.
Then I'm saying, if he did,
what about it?
he not only wouldn't he be the #1 fighter, he may be a best, the 7th or 8th best welterweight.
If that.
I mean, guys like you, Breland, you know, good guys, other fighters in that era. I mean, obviously the dream match everyone says is Ray Leonard and him. You know,
you like everybody else. Ray Leonard was the star of the show. Ray Leonard brought the big money from the down to the little guys. Remember back in that time, if you're gonna get over 100-something, you had to be a heavyweight. You had to be a heavyweight. Ray Leonard brought people understand. Like, thank God for Ray Leonard. Mayweather, anybody in the sport of boxing should say, thank God for the, I mean, it might boost his ego, but you know, it don't take much to boost your ego.
A weekend like this, obviously beside a guy like Mark Breland, anyone else that you're excited to be hanging out with?
I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
Hey, you here.
Thank you.
You know,
and you here. Obviously, I grew up, I was, you know, probably start my teenage years and start to get my boxing acumen, and because of ABC and NBC and CBS, guys like Marlon Starling always on network television. Yes.
Free. I mean,
you were one of the guys I kind of remembered and took notice of their career because it's right there. Larry Holmes, I always tell people, my favorite fighter, heavyweight champion of the world, fighting on NBC on a Saturday night.
Exactly.
And Scott Frank or David Bay or the fights with Cooney they weren't replayed on HBO the week later. They were replayed on ABC the week later.
That's it. Remember that.
Even though you may have known the result, you're still going to watch it.
Back in that time, you're going to break. if a fight was coming on Saturday, you know where you was going to be that day.
How about a fight with Thomas Hearns? Was that ever in the cards for you?
I went out to train with him, getting ready for the Raid fight. He broke my jaw. But I got the better of the spine. I don't think they wanted to fight me.
Anything you want to say in closing? So you say you really don't. Are you doing anything with this sport?
I love the sport. You know,
you just don't like to watch. You don't care to watch.
I'm still in love with it. I just don't.
You do anything in training?
I still love it. I'm just not in love with it.
Yeah. You still doing anything with it? You still training or
every day? Every day.
You working with some young fighters?
Yeah.
If I was a young fighter and I come in and you're going to train me, what's the first thing? Forget about teach me how to jab or whatever. What's the first thing that you're going to tell a young prospective fighter?
Never worry about the money. You know why? If you're good, they gotta pay you.
Yeah, it'll come if you win.
Don't worry about the money. Worry about the love for the sport. I tell you what. When you start getting money for what you do, you know what it is? What is it? When you start getting money for something, what is it?
Paper.
No, besides that, a job.
Yeah, true. Boxing.
That wasn't my job.
Boxing
when I start getting money for boxing, it was starting to be ugly. I didn't like getting money for it. I just did it all day free.
Don't tell. You wouldn't say that out loud, though, would you?
I mean, that's when it started getting ugly when you start getting paid. I used to love to do it. Love to have fun doing it.
Anything you want to say in closing out there?
I want to say, continue to follow the sport of boxing. I love it. Been loving it for 55, 58 years. And we'll be back. We don't know when, but it will be back.
Thanks, Marlon. I appreciate it. Former welterweight champion of the world, Marlon Starling. Thank you for a few minutes, and we'll hope to see you throughout the weekend.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you. Marlon Starling, everybody. Another legend of the game.
Is that all right?
He did terrific. Did terrific. So we got Rob Scott to get us some guests. Rob Scott, one of the good guys in the business, works a lot in the PR with the credentials, and you'll see him at a lot of big fights, and help us commandeer some guests throughout the rest of the afternoon. We've got another hour and 20 minutes or so. They said Riddick Bowe still over there, Michael Spinks, all the greats. So still got a lot more to go. We've had Marlon Starling, Junior Jones, the Iceman John Scully. We'll touch on with some other guests, some of the great fights coming up. What they think of Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, what's going on in the light heavyweights with Dmitry Bivol, with Sergey Kovalev, Donald Stevenson, Badu Jack. Do we want to see a rematch? Some great middleweight action coming up. And we got the featherweights next week with Leo Santa Cruz and Abner Morris, as well as the welterweight championship of the world, WBO champion Jeff Horn, defending against Terrence Crawford. We're just looking around to see who may be popping into our broadcast there. You never know, because there's just so many terrific fighters, boxing personalities here. See Hard Beverages, maybe we'll get them on, just a terrific soft drink. DeMarcus Corley selling his stuff. DeMarcus Corley's got some of the best boxing apparel out there. A lot of the fighters swear by his boxing apparel. So we will try to get the former champ on. You see the president, Ray McCline, who trying to get Ray on. He don't want to come on for some reason. The president of the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame. As we are in our second day here, we've had the terrific card on Friday night. Miss Downey Promotions tonight. We got Evander Holyfield's Real Deal Promotions just down the street here at Boardwalk Hall. We're at the Claridge Hotel, the conference center. Got the DJ. We have a boxing class taking place here. People hitting the heavy bags, the speed bags, the mitts. I'm going to need one of those hard beverages in a minute. As soon as we get our next guest in line, we're trying to see who's there. We'll be back in just a minute. Joined by man, we just big foe, the big adversary of Marlon Starling, Mark Breland, is going to be joining us. He's just signing a few autographs right behind us. Yeah, I have a lot to say to Mark Breland. Obviously, him being the trainer of Deontay Wilder. So we'll get into a little bit of that. We'll get into the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame with Mark. So,
yo, Wilder's got a crazy chin, though.
We got Mark right here.
He reminds me of you, like that unorthodox, like punching style,
Fans still love Mark Breland today. There we are with Mark Breland. Let me get you hooked up here with the microphone. Go. Perfect. Get you in the front. Okay, we're good. Here we are with the former welterweight champion of the world, the man considered still today the greatest amateur in United States boxing. And today we have to get on this, the trainer of the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Deontay Wilder. Well, first, Mark, Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame weekend. What's this mean to you to be around the greats of the game?
Well, it means a lot because, you know, we're not forgotten. You know, it's like we got a lot of these guys that people forget about, but this is showing them that, you know, they're still thought about. And this is, you know, and boxing has always been big in Atlantic City, and just to get it, you know, trying to get it back on the road again, it's a big thing.
Talk about nights and fights in Atlantic City. Anything stick out to you for you?
Well, fighting in Atlantic, a lot of great fights here. A lot of great fights. You know, the Spinks brothers, Larry Holmes, all of those guys.
What about anything personally that you did?
Yeah, I fought a few times in Atlantic City. But you know, it was just a thing of where, you know, Atlantic City was the Las Vegas back in the day. Everybody,
all the big fights. Mike Tyson. This is where he made his bones in Atlantic City.
So I'm hoping that we can get it back again.
Anyone? I know. Last I was pointing out the fights. You know, you had the two fights with Marlon Starling. You guys have become good buddies over the years.
Oh yeah. I mean, you know, I tell people, I'm like, you know, when you're fighting people, you you know, it's not personal, it's business. You know?
You saw that with Gotti and Ward.
Right.
They became.
Right.
What is it? What is it about that? That you know, when you go through. I mean, obviously, you guys are trying to tear each other's head off for 12 rounds. But when you know when you fight 2 and 3 fights, 20, 30 rounds with a certain guy,
right.
What is it that brings you guys together maybe later in life?
Well, it's the thing where, you know, like I said, it's business, and you may, I mean, like with Stalin, I didn't like him. I didn't like him when I fought him. You know, it's like, I didn't like him. But after the fight, it's like, it's over. And I said to myself, why?
It's Mercer. That's Ray Mercer. We'll get Ray on after.
Mercer.
Man, where you from? I need mine.
Hey Ray, we're on live TV here. Hey Ray, well, we're gonna get you on after him. We're gonna get you on. It's the former WBO heavyweight champion of the world, Ray Mercer. We'll get him on.
Oh yeah.
So as you're saying about what bring you up?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I was saying before. I didn't like him. I couldn't stand him. But afterwards, after I retired, I'm like, it's business. It's not, it wasn't nothing personal. And we see each other. I'm like, what's up, man? And we start talking. And we'll start talking about fights, but basically, we won't even talk about our fight. We'll just talk about different fights. And, it's like, then somebody might say something about, when y'all was fighting, it was this and that. And we'll talk about, like, what, that's boxing.
Is there anybody here? I know you probably see a lot of these guys, because boxing is a small community, and your travels with training, you run into a lot of these guys at some. Anyone here though, or maybe you saw last night, or maybe see them tomorrow night, that you're excited to see, or excited, to reminisce with?
Well, always, excited to see.
Anyone in particular?
Michael Spinks. Riddick Bowe. We grew up at the same time in the gym coming up. But like a lot of these fighters, I can't think of his guy's name. Jeff Chandler. Fighters like that, it's like, wow, those are icons.
You got you and Marlon here. We got Evander and Riddick here. So we got some tremendous rivalry action.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk about the game today. We're gonna get into Deontay, because that's what everyone wants to know about Deontay. So we'll get into the game today compared to 20, 25 years ago when you were fighting. Talk about what are your thoughts on the sport of boxing today?
Today, it's a little different. It's a little different where now, like I was saying, it's personal. It's business. These guys take it personal. It's not personal, man. It's business. Come on.
And I think it was a lot easier to make the fights that we wanted to see back in the day. Obviously, even though you're not really doing the negotiating, you're in the middle of a fight that you read one thing one day that this guy's saying this, and Joshua's people are saying that. What do you mean? And not specifically that case, because obviously you're close to it, but when you see all this stuff going back and forth, when you fought, it took a couple phone calls, maybe a haggle over a few dollars, and the fight was made.
I think the fight with Joshua personally, I think that fight, is just more about money than the actual fight. Back in the days, it was more about the fight than the actual money. The money was, still a big thing, but it was about the fight.
All right, so I guess we'll just segue right to now. First of all, I want to talk about Deontay as a fighter. How much improvement have you seen since you've been the trainer for most of especially since he started becoming a legitimate contender up through the time? How much improvement have you seen in Deontay Wilder? Maybe people forget he's kind of late to the game. He he was Olympian. He really didn't have many amateur fights. So
I think he had about maybe 20 something amateur fights. I mean, he learned a lot, with the jab and right hands, but he has a lot of athleticism going on in it. So it's like different angles, and it's like, I mean, he throws punches from angles. You look at it like, wow, and then he'll hit the pad. I'm like, man, okay. But he's in a very awkward position. I'm like, he's still got power in that position. So it's like,
You've held the pads for a lot of guys over the years.
Oh,
Deontay really has that previous power.
Right, a lot of power.
The state of the heavyweight division. Well, let's go back to the Ortiz fight. A lot of people are still telling it's a great fight.
Right.
I think Deontay probably learned more in that fight than maybe any fight out there. Would you say that?
Oh, definitely. I mean, because the first 5-6 rounds, he just kept pouring the jab out, just doing this here. But Ortiz is a very smart fighter. He's a guy, most Cuban fighters have, over 300, 400, 500 amateur fights. He had over 400. So basically, he's professional. He's professional. He's professional already. So once he, a guy like, fighting, I'm sorry, you just said it again, Ortiz, he's pretty basically already pro as an amateur, 400 amateur fights. So here's a guy who's a southpaw, southpaw is very awkward. And so when Deontay fought him, like the first 5-6 fights, he kind of iffy. I thought he could have won. I thought he won the first 4 or 5 rounds. Ortiz, because just the style alone, him docking Deontay up. But once Deontay started to catch him and hitting him, about like 6th, 7th round.
What did Deontay obviously showed something in that fight that we haven't seen before. His resiliency to come back from being hurt and that. I mean, I don't know how much of that, in terms of sparring or whatever, but I mean, as a trainer, not that you question it. I think one of the old adages, you don't know what kind of a fighter you have until he gets hit or he gets hurt.
Right.
Did you know you had that? Deontay had that in before that?
Oh yeah, I mean he's done some sparring with certain guys. He got hit. When he'll get hit, and I just look. And I just keep on going. Like in the fight when he got hit with Ortiz. I mean he was out of it. So when he came back to the corner, I'm like, okay, look, stay off the ropes. Stay out of the corner. I said, use your jab and just move. He'll follow you. You gotta clear your head. So in that next round, you just moved around.
You being very tall for the weight that you fought at, him obviously being 6'7", being tall for the weight he fought at. You instill a lot of the attributes that you learned and what you were taught to do because of your height. You instill those attributes into him and into what you're.
Oh, definitely. Just basically using the jab, staying on the outside, and just staying long. But like I said, and I keep telling him, I said, most of your power is at the end of your punches. So he'll catch a lot of guys at the end of the punch.
I'm not saying it's going to be the next fight, but let me ask you a question. Have you started looking at tapes of Anthony Joshua yet?
I think that'll be about a 3-4 round.
What's that?
I think it'll go about 3 or 4 rounds.
I'm saying, but have you started looking at tapes that maybe gouge a little skin?
No, I look at tapes of him, but he doesn't show. I mean, he's very ordinary. And he doesn't. When he jabs, he pushes his jab. He doesn't snap his jab.
His fight with Parker, do you think he got exposed a little bit in that fight? So
he throws a hook. But his hook, he throws the hook to try to bring your head down and throw an uppercut. Deontay's 6'7". How are you going to do that?
See, we already got the scouting report for this fight, so out there. So I'm going to play this back here of the fight. If Deontay knocks him out with an uppercut, I'm going to say you heard it here first. Besides Deontay, who else are you working with?
Nobody at the moment. I'm getting this other guy. This guy, his name is Giuliani. I can't think of him. He's an Italian kid. He's not pro yet. We're going to turn pro soon, so it's like, just keep
When do you expect to go again with, whether it's Joshua or not? When
Probably in August.
August. I mean, I guess the conventional wisdom, it's stuff that I'm reading. It's only stuff I'm reading, and probably one more. Then maybe Joshua. Is that what your gut's kind of telling you?
Yeah, hopefully.
Would you prefer Joshua next?
Yeah.
There you go. Anything you want to say out there? Well, actually, one more question. The USA Boxing, you, as we stated, probably the greatest amateur fighter in the history of the country. The program isn't, it wasn't, let's just say it wasn't 1984 like.
No.
What needs to be done? And is this something that the powers that be, have you ever been approached in trying to?
Well, I had called the Olympic Training Center one time in Colorado Springs. You know what? Can I get a quick timer? I gotta
What's that?
I gotta use the bathroom real bad. I gotta use the bathroom.
Okay.
I gotta get rid of some water.
Oh, you need some water.
I gotta get rid of some water.
Oh, you gotta get rid of some water.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's good. We'll let you. That's good, Mark. I thank you for a few minutes of your time.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll see you soon. We'll see you in August, baby. The great Mark Breland. The great Mark Breland joined us, giving us a game plan. I think we're going to get let's see here, we got Hector Camacho Jr. joining us for about 4 or 5 minutes. Hector, let's put the mic, you got more microphones on you than anything. Hector, we're here obviously this weekend to honor your father, getting into the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame. What's this mean to you, and what would your dad think of all this?
It means the world, knowing his hard work that he put into it, knowing the sweat, blood, and tears he left behind us. It's mixed emotion. He's not here to really, get recognized like he should. I know he expected this to happen one day, but the love from the people, the fans, and the respect.
I was there the night he retired Sugar Ray Leonard, right
in Atlantic City.
Atlantic City. So, what are your memories of Atlantic? Do you have any memories of him fighting in Atlantic City? Maybe
I was always come to the fights, man. Yeah, great fights. The Pazienza fight with his crews, Sugar Ray Leonard used to, of course. Me being a New Yorker, and when you hear Atlantic City, it was the Vegas of boxing. It was the Mecca. We don't have casinos and big lights. We have big lights. We don't have casinos in New York. So whenever you get to Atlantic City, the boardwalk, the casinos, you get a sense of, it was the energy, just, fight time here in Atlantic City. It was great. So remember to come into Atlantic City and being recognized as the Hall of Fame fighter, being inducted, it means the world to me, being a New Yorker. This was the Mecca of boxing.
Who here you run into that excites you when you see me? Any of these people?
All these greats, man. These are pioneers in boxing, man. These are greats. They family. We become a family boxing fight. When you see Marlon Starling, when you see people like Iran Barkley, when you see Ray Mercer, when you see four-time heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield, you're around greatness. People who left blood, sweat, and tears training. We relate to, we family. When you see these greats, man, who I looked up to growing up, it's great. You're a president of greatness.
I know last night we had Selden on the card, Bruce Selden, who's going in. I think early in the discussion, I think they wanted you to maybe fight on this weekend, if possible.
We were open to it, I was down in Germany, the U.S. military, working with them, saying how spending time with them, hearing their side of it, congratulating them, because they're the heroes.
What's that?
They're the real heroes, the U.S. military. They go to war for us, they keep us safe, protect us. So we've been around them, through the plans of fighting here, but hey, I made it come back. I should be back August against Omar Chavez Jr. So,
I think
it's a blessing.
Chavez, I've seen that.
Hey,
I've seen that before. I've seen that.
I got the ring for a long time. These kind of fights here wake me up. Give me the motivation I need to train.
Now, let me ask you this. It's funny you say that. Obviously, when one fighter loses to another fighter, they want the redemption. Is this redemption?
For me, it is. For my career, for my father, for Puerto Rico, we're involved with Mexico. And for my legacy, this is a fight I can bounce back. It's the opportunity it is. and I'm looking to take I'm looking to maximize opportunity.
What's you said Omar Chavez? So I assume what about 54, 154?
154 pounds. Right now, walking around 158. I've been training.
I saw you last time. That would look like Hector Camacho Jr. if he was in shape. And
yes, it is. Man. I've been working, like I said, working with the U.S. military. I've been out there getting in shape, working with the sergeant, kick my butt, that's his name. And getting myself in shape. The main thing was to make weight. Now I'm going to camp. So now you see another Camacho Jr. You see Camacho Jr. from back then, but with a lot more experience, a lot more wisdom in boxing, and more appreciative of this.
I've known you a long time. I've never seen you with the paying homage to your dad with the front curl there.
I have to do it. You know, I tell myself, if I'm gonna make this comeback, I gotta make it solid. So my father passed away to now. Matter of fact, getting ready to say his speech on Sunday, I did my research. And through my research, I realized how hard he worked. It wasn't given to him. He worked hard. And then you start looking at his fights and training. And you look at other greats. What they have in common was they worked hard for their dreams. So here I am, the second half of my fight. I said, I'm gonna bust my chop, promise myself. And so now I got this curl. So every time I get up in the morning, go running or go train, I look at the mirror, and this reminds me of hard work. Cause it's the Macho Man curl. So I keep this on my head until I finish my career. Cause this will push me an extra mile. He did it. He gave me the blueprint how to do it.
The great thing about this, you know, in my early watching boxing days, obviously your father, his flamboyancy, his charisma, you always remember what time it is. And this weekend, at least, it's be Macho time, one last time in Lexington. And hopefully, maybe we'll have you back, hopefully, fighting in a big fight here in Atlantic City. I guess that's something you would love to do.
Yeah, man, we're looking forward to that. Like I said, this is the Mecca, man. I feel that big bounce, big turn going to happen in Atlantic City. It's just a matter of time. I feel it coming. Like I was saying, back in the day, you come to an event, you felt the excitement. You don't feel it here, to be quite honest. You don't feel no excitement in the Boardwalk. But we get the community of Atlantic City involved. This is the Mecca. This is a gold pot.
I think last night, I know you were at 2 shows last night, and there's another show tonight. Yes. I think there's a big HBO show coming back August 4th, and a big ESPN fight August 18th. So maybe
it's a start. This is the groundwork. Thanks to Ray McCline, everybody over the Box Hall of Fame. This is the leg work, and they put in work to just get it started. That's all that's needed.
Where are you spending most of your time? I know you're in Brooklyn, or are you spending?
No. I'm in Panama, the country. Married, been out there a couple years.
I know you
Puerto Rico, and New York. You know, I bounce back and forth. That's the good thing about boxing, man. You know, open my doors to other things. I'm thankful for boxing.
For this August fight, where will you be training?
Well, we're in the mix between California and back home in Germany. So either or.
Back home in Germany.
Yeah. Which I'm liking Germany. I'm loving it. I thought I would say myself, man, but Germany been great to me. Work with the militants, gave me a new aspect of life.
Well, let me ask you something about that. Obviously, you've been through 100 boxing camps, and you know it's you go to the gym, you hit the bag, you do this, you do that. This is a different type of training. Can you see this maybe as more fighters, maybe kind of getting into the boot camp style of training? Or?
You know what? Boxing become a routine. Hit the bag, shot a box. I could do it with my eyes closed.
Yeah.
But when they push me to change and do something else, that's where us fighters rise and be able to go ahead and do the aerobics they doing. Hey, I couldn't deal with them. I couldn't hang with them. It took me 3 weeks to finally hang with them. These guys are in shape. They fighting for their lives. So if you could put that mentality, take out the target, take out the enemy, eliminate the enemy. If you could do that, target the military, you know, train you to be, oh man, you be a killer. You're aware. Alertness on everything.
And you want to say in closing out there, anybody? You want to say to people out there?
Man, thanks for coming. This is Starter Boxing. This is Macho Time. Thanks for the fans. It's because of your guys, the fans, the public, who make us fight who we are. So we thankful for you guys. Please come down. Be a part of the greatness.
It's funny. I've been asking all the fighters. I asked you, who you're interested, excited to see this week. For me, I've been friends with you a long time. I haven't seen you in a long time. And when Ray was telling me you're coming, I'm like, oh, cool. I'm looking forward to seeing Junior.
Yeah, man,
so
it's always
long time, man. Hector Camacho Jr.
It's Macho Time.
Macho Time, Junior Time. It's going to be great respect.
Clay Dustin, Sports Entertainment Promotion. Imagine, we're on the lookout. we coming. Blackout.
And like I said, tomorrow I'm Looking forward. I'm really looking forward to your speech, especially after you say all the research you've done on the speech. I'm sure. Like,
Ray Mercer.
it's good.
That's my grade right there. That's a boxing grade. When you say what I'm looking forward to see, Ray Mercer.
No,
He's the great off.
come on, Ray. We'll get him off.
He's a comedian. Boxing great.
You on and then Ray. Thanks, Junior. Bobby Ches, Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame inductee. What? Here we go with Bobby Ches. Let me just hook you up here.
Hook me up.
There you go. There you go. We good. Here we go with great Bobby Ches inducted this weekend. The Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame.
She's been my whole 56 years being inducted to the Hall of Fame, but it doesn't get old. It's just, I'm excited as I was as a kid when I first started boxing.
Atlantic City itself.
My second pro fight was in Atlantic City, and I've not only defended but won world titles in Atlantic City. So it means a damn lot to me. It means a tremendous amount to me.
You see all the greats this weekend. Who excites you to see that? Who you been excited? Very happy to see this.
Oh, you know what? Vinny Pazienza's coming down. Ray Mercer, one of my dearest friends, also a sparring partner, is here. I mean, there are just so many fighters. I love it. I just love being amongst my crew, as I call it.
Boxing, it's a great community. It's a small community, like you said. Run into your people, you cross paths them all the time, and a gathering like this, where I believe 6 or 7 world heavyweight champions are gonna some point during the week.
Oh yeah, Evander Holyfield was here, and even though we fought each other, he's a great guy, and we took pictures together. Some of my friends and family wanted pictures with him because he's an icon. This has been a really, really great experience.
Yeah, that was actually the fight, I believe, before the Tyson fights. He fought you, Evander Holyfield, and he fought Tyson after that, if I'm not mistaken.
And I think because Evander didn't do so well with me, Tyson didn't. Yeah, I think Tyson did train right. And I know Mike. Mike's a great guy. I love him, but I think he shortchanged himself.
And you were on the broadcast for those 2 fights.
On top of the fact that, I broadcasted the fight. So I mean, I know the business.
Yeah.
I know the people.
One of the great commentators. You should forget about you being a world champion. One of the most pleasure to listen to in terms of your commentating on the Showtime broadcast. Steve Albert's going into the International Boxing Hall of Fame, I believe, next weekend. Your partner.
Oh, Steve's a great guy.
Yeah,
you know what? Steve Albert is the single best human being I've ever met connected to boxing.
Wow.
That's how good he is.
Wow.
That's how great he is.
Well, you guys were an awesome team.
But he is. I mean, I cannot even give him the compliments he deserves. They haven't invented those words yet.
What are you doing these days?
I'm just doing regular jobs. Like I'm supposed to, believe it or not, they're bringing back bare knuckle fighting
Tonight on pay-per-view.
I know. Well, I was supposed to do this one, but the promoter said, "Look, you're walking into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You're walking into history." So I can't begrudge you that. I was supposed to do it tonight. Well, it's actually tomorrow night. It's June 2nd.
Tonight. I get the days mixed. It's tonight. My buddy. I'll give him a plug.
Oh, wait, today's the 2nd, right?
Yeah, David Feldman, who's my good friend, and you say he's the promoter.
Oh no, yeah, from Philly.
Yes, it's my
Oh
guy.
yeah. Oh, he's good people. Good people.
Good man.
Good people.
Good man.
And yeah, but he said, "Look, you're walking into history, so I can't take that away from you." So they have 2 more shows later this year, and then 7 shows next year.
Yep.
So It's going to happen.
It'd be great to
I'm
hear
going to
Bobby
be back
Chaz.
in the fight. I'll be back in. And here's the thing. I'm the only world champion in history of any division of any country to be a member of Mensa.
Yes,
I have a genius
absolutely.
IQ. Now Henry Milligan is a member of Mensa from Princeton, but he can't even speak well today because he doesn't have a good jaw. And I've done a little research of my own with regard to people like Tommy Hearns, Terry Norris, Mildred Taylor, great world champions. None of them can speak because of something that's in the genetic structure of a human being that decides how tough they are.
In fact, the first time I ever heard the word Mensa was attributed to Bobby Chaz. First time I ever heard the word.
I didn't even know what it was till my publicist. He said, "Is your IQ really that high?" I went, "Well, that's what the tests say." So I took the test and I'm in.
That's a great club to be in. How about the sport today compared to when you fought?
You know what the problem is with sport today, and I've said this for years, there are too many different sanctioning bodies. And they don't, and here's the thing, none of them, even the ones that are from the Dominican Republic, from other countries, have any real rule over the laws in our country. But our country somehow succumbs to the rules, and when a promoter has access to and licenses the judges, that's an immediate conflict of interest because his fighter is going to get, and that's why I got fired. I told the truth on the air, and Showtime got pissed off because they received like 18,000 emails. But I'm not gonna compromise my integrity. I know what's going on. So when fighter A is kicking the crap out of fighter B, fighter B wins. Only two reasons: the judge is incompetent, should never do it again, or he's crooked, should never do it again.
Yeah.
Einstein couldn't come up with a reason. There's no other reason. There's no other reason.
What fighters today does get Bobby Chaz in front of the TV to watch?
I'll tell you what, I really like Deontay Wilder.
Just had his trainer Mark Breland in that chair right before you?
Deontay Wilder I think he's the goods. I think he beats Tyson Fury. I think he beats them all.
Joshua as well.
You know, I haven't followed as much. I've been off track doing different things. And I've put a 70.
Lomachenko at all?
No, Triple G, he's a badass. Triple G can fight, and he doesn't ever stop.
You were a middleweight at one point. Where's that guy?
I was 165. Make a middleweight was too much draining.
Yeah, you all up ahead with me. What Bobby Chaz best weight?
Well, my best weight 175.
175.
And I manufactured. I lifted, pumped weights and whatever, and I got up to 220 for Corey Sanders, but he was 45, 6'5", too much. Top 36. I was not prepared. My body wasn't prepared to handle that.
To the fans in closing out there.
Say again?
And you want to see the fans out there in closing?
Listen, in the late 1980s, 87, they did a survey in a study. What is the hardest? They called it a Playboy. Who's first in the open?
Which only read for the article, by the way.
No, I watched the pictures. I won't lie. Who's from the old book? What is the single hardest sport to matter? Boxing came out number one.
Absolutely.
Number one.
So that's why
you know what?
They say the phrase, play.
Well, Mark Gaston, he said, listen, I didn't realize I was on vacation for so many years until I did this. He had to kick the crap out of me. And I thought it was funny, but
he was a class athlete and he lost to German type fighters.
Look, it's a weird path to follow, but understand something. When you get the ring, all the people see is the finished product. They don't know that it might be this 3 times in training. They fell asleep in my food. I'm bleeding from my nose. They didn't understand pain and through just train for 4 weeks.
Have the mic from you.
Who cares?
This gentleman, renowned, still doing work as I speak, and being inducted tomorrow. No, let somebody take a picture of you. The great photographer, Ray Bailey. That's right. Somebody take a picture of you for one. This gentleman, certainly one of the baddest super lightweights ever walked the division. Brooklyn's own Poison, Junior Jones! This is certainly one of the big 19 from Violent, New Jersey, Richie Case. Representing WBC, renowned in her own right, is Jill Diamond.
Finally got up in that chair. All right. Top talk, Paul.
You know what they want to say? This was his toughest fight. So he